Mr. Robert Habeck, whom I had the pleasure to have met before. We enjoyed a good discussion that has to do with creating a political horizon for the future and the dangers of the status quo that we are living in at the moment, the political vacuum that is already there, and also the measures that the Israeli government is implementing on the ground. These measures are very serious, very dangerous. That is really eroding the two-state solution. We in Germany, we stand solid in protection of international law, of human rights, and also calling for a two-state solution on the borders of 1967. Germany has been of great support for Palestine, for two states, and the German aid has been very generous, Mr. Minister, to the Palestinian people. That does actually cover all aspects of life, mainly on infrastructure, support for Gaza projects, solar energy, and also support for construction of schools, water, sewage, as well as some technical assistance that is provided by the German government to our people. We have had a very constructive discussion, and I did enjoy the discussion with you, Mr. Minister. You are a great friend for peace and justice, and this region really needs a European engagement, a German engagement, and also an international engagement. Palestine deserves to be a state recognized by the international community, and Palestinian people deserve to be free, living in a sovereign, contiguous, viable state of Palestine. Issues that has to do with the economy between us and our strategy to diversify trade relations with the rest of the world. Germany is an important partner for this. And also the Palestinian strategy vis-a-vis pushing for having elections when Jerusalem is on board. You know, Mr. Minister, we scheduled elections to take place on the 22nd of May, 2021. Unfortunately, Palestinians in Jerusalem were not allowed to participate, and therefore we had to postpone that. And I call upon you to really push with us to make elections in Palestine possible, with Jerusalem as part of it, according to the signed agreements between us and the Israelis.
You gave us in the last hour, and it was a very open and very constructive discussion, and I would say that time wasn't enough to get on all the points we had in our textbook, and I have more questions right now, even though I have asked a lot of questions and got a lot of answers. So thank you very much for this intense debate we had. From my perspective and the German perspective, you're absolutely right. The solution for the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is a two-state solution. And saying that, I know that the things are struck, and we discussed how we can move forward once again. You can maybe have a structure like there is a political solution, and this is not really is worked on. And on the other hand, there are pragmatic approaches right now. And we discussed if these pragmatic approaches are making the ground for a new restart of a political solution or moving away from a political solution. And I think it's the practical things that should be done. This is mainly an Israeli-Palestine relationship, and as far as Germany could help, we are willing to help and give advice and support and money, of course. But this is basically things that have been solved between Palestine and the Israeli government. On the other hand, we have strong development aid projects in the Palestine territories, and we see a lot of movement. I would call it dynamic in the region, mainly coming from a shift of the energy supply. And I was glad to hear that this is also taking place here in your government, and we discussed if the German priority in the development aid couldn't be shifted to energy infrastructure and helping with, for example, solar parks here in the refugee camps. And I think this is a very, very good idea. So I have some homework with me when I'm leaving, and will try to discuss it with my colleagues in the German government. But I think this is an excellent idea, giving more energy security and renewable energy, and therefore also own the possibility to get money out of things and develop the economy, and then move forward to a better relationship and hopefully find a solution which should be then a two-stage solution.
Thank you. So, please, sir.